Last episode, we went ahead and summoned the JoJo and made a fast andesite farm, producing many different resources ready for automation. And this time, we're going to be building quite possibly the biggest factory I've ever made and automating the entire andesite age of Create. Mostly. I'm probably going to forget a few things. And in between episodes, I have been a busy boy, as you can see. The most obvious thing, we have another giant custom tree, which is looking wonderful. And I've been hard at work expanding the decorations around our world, adding in a lovely little river connecting to our water farms for the rice and kelp, which from above you can see stretches all the way down to our big lake, so it's all nice and connected. Expanding our mine shaft with 2 new floors, the first of which being a little moss farm, which this is just a vanilla one. I was getting really fed up of going all the way out to a lush cave every time I needed moss, so it's pretty handy. And then a floor below that, we have an actual storage room. It's nothing fancy, just a bunch of diamond chests with some stack upgrades, but it holds all of our stuff pretty well. We got all our workbenches, moved the enchanting down here, and I do want to say this is not going to be my final storage room. I just needed something quick and dirty to tide me over until I build something better. And then lastly, I have also decorated the iron farm, which I did show off in the last video, but, you know, here it is. It looks really nice. And I do gotta say, our little village here is really coming together. I'm really happy with how this is all turning out. Today's project, however, takes place in this rather unfinished corner of the base, in which we're going to be building a factory that is going to automate pretty much all of the andesite age. Because when I looked into it, pretty much everything in early game Create can be made from wood, andesite, and iron, which are all 3 things we have automated. But anyway, I'm going to make use of our new storage room, gather up some materials ready for our big project. Well, that certainly was a lot more items than I thought to make, but we got there in the end. Thankfully, all of our farms so far made this relatively painless. But we're going to let the cannon play, we're going to let it do its thing. Oh, gunpowder, oops. Gunpowder? Gunpowder. Although, I can't lie with y'all, I got really excited and I may have designed the farm already. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the cannon play here, and then I'm going to do my best to explain this absolute madness to all of you. Aha, so it doesn't look enormous, but the amount of things this factory is going to make is insane. This entire wall of drawers behind me is going to be filled with different items. And with the drawer network here, what we can do is we can use these controller slaves with a filtered output to pull from these drawers over here. So every item in the system will be stored in these drawers. Any of these funnels connected to a slave can input and output into them. So here we have some saws making strip logs, we have some turning those into planks, and we even have a few here making shafts because you get slightly more andesite alloy. And then just behind that, we have some presses making iron sheets, and then over here we have a bunch of deployers being given andesite alloy and the strip logs from over there to make a casing. And then on the back of this floor we have all of our mixing recipes. So over here we have 3 basins making andesite alloy. We have 2 here making large and small cogs. We have 1 here making encased chain drives. We have 1 making depots, and we have 1 making portable storage interfaces. And all of these work by pulling items out of these funnels at the back. We just filter what they want to use, and it will automatically backfill here. And then for everything else we want to craft, we have an absolute army of mechanical arms and mechanical crafters down below. I still need to go through all of these crafters and add in some slot covers to like make the shapes and stuff, but for the most part this is all of the recipes here too. But obviously this doesn't work at all without 2 main things. 1 being our core items, our wood, our andesite, and our iron. So we need to get those brought over here. And then the other thing, which I'm going to deal with later, is in my testing, this uses about 100,000 SU to run at full speed. Because, you know, I want to run this thing at 256 RPM. I'm not making this slow. We're going big here. And I don't think making 100,000 stress units with water wheels is the best idea. Because that works out to about 195 water wheels. And I know y'all love your water wheels, but oh man, that's That's a few too many even for me. Which, side note, I think a lot of people are going to be really irritated at this, but I have not made a single steam engine in this world. Because everything you see here, all of these farms, all of these lovely things, is powered solely by water wheels. There's these, a few more down here. Oh, yeah, there's one powering those belts. A few more powering the iron farm. Can't forget the ones powering the wood farms. And the ones hidden up here for the elevator. So yeah, I think it's about time we enter the steam age for this project because, yeah, I don't want to make that many water wheels. But thankfully this building is quite long, so we should be able to squeeze in a decent-sized steam engine along the back here. But I don't really need the power over here right this second, so I'm going to focus on getting our 3 main resources over into the farm here, which is probably just going to consist of a lot of tunnel digging, a lot of belt running, so I'll bring you back in when that's done. That actually took a lot longer than I expected to hook up these belts, but we have all 3 of these items coming in now from our various farms. What I've actually opted to do is for the iron, we've got it on a threshold switch, just so we don't overfill the belt, because, yeah, I don't really want to have, like, a few thousand iron blocks just chilling on this belt here. The wood and the andesite, I don't mind, but the iron, I'd rather, yeah, keep that a bit more controlled. But that means that we now have all the raw resources, we have the farm all built, we just need to power it now. Normally, it would be an absolute pain to find the outline of the building so I know where to put my steam engine, but no, I've actually been smart for once. Not smart enough to bring a schematic table, but smart for sure. My schematic 14, very well named. So I've taken a schematic of the first layer of the build, and now if we use FreeCam, we can see that gives us the exact outline of where everything needs to go. Pretty genius. The plan for the steam engine is pretty simple. We're just going to run some pipes underneath our blaze burners, and then we're going to use these straws, which is going to convert them over to a liquid inventory. And that means we can pump lava directly from our cauldrons into the blaze burners without having to do any of that mechanical arm bucket nonsense. Although looking at this, I think maybe 24 cauldrons to 18 burners might not be enough to run this sustainably. So I think I'm just going to add one more layer of these, and that should be enough. So all of that set up, we can go ahead and put our fluid tanks on top of here, and I believe it's 4 blocks tall to be max size, and I've run out of fluid tanks. Add on our steam engines, and this thing is looking pretty good. For the shafts themselves, what we'll probably do is stick them going down. We'll connect these all underground, and then power the farm with it that way. Couple blocks here for the dripstone to go on, and then we see, do I actually have any pointed dripstone? No. Great. Harvest pointed dripstone. Also lag horribly, apparently. Ooh, this seems bad. Add pointed dripstone. Trapdoors to hold the lava back. Collect lava buckets. Lag! That was terrifying. Some lava buckets for seasoning. Powered up, blazes are running, and I forgot the water. Oh no. So then we add a little bit of water, and oh yeah, there it is. And then to finish up, we just attach a belt across the bottom, and that's going to combine the power of both of our engines. Now we just need to connect this to the farm. Okay, so we just crank this to max and connect the chain drive to it. This is really exciting. We're really getting somewhere now. So all I have to do is go through, grab all the different materials and put them into the drawers, and this thing should start going. And you know, in the time that it took me to fill all of these slots out, it's pretty much done everything. I think the only thing it's now crafting is the drills, because I've gone through and I've added some upgrades into these so we can store more of certain types of items and stuff. And yeah, it all seems to be functioning. You can see it's just backfilling all of these random little bits now, but it seems to be working pretty good. One thing I am slightly worried about is though our steam engine doesn't seem to be keeping up on the heat front. Like the blaze burners are not getting enough lava, which is a little worrying. We may have to add yet another layer of cauldrons here. Which I don't know if they just need time to backfill, but I don't know, man. I might add another layer here. But that is a problem for later Skiege because, as you can see, we have some very terrible outline blocks going on here, and we need to fix that, as well as fixing the landscape. So I'm going to run back down to the storage room, see what building materials we have, and hopefully get started on this. I was thinking about it the other day as well, and my favorite build in the world is the mineshaft elevator up above me, and we made that based off of a reference image. So I think for the factory, we're going to do the same thing, and I found this really cool image, and it seems really interesting. I'm a very big fan of this part near the bottom where it kind of goes in and then out again, so I kind of want to replicate something a little like that with the build. And then the two big towers on the side, you can kind of see how it's going to come together from the outline. Definitely we're going to want some mossy blocks, some stone bricks, a little bit of tuff couldn't hurt, definitely quite a bit of spruce wood and dark oak wood, and some canopy for the roof, dark oak planks for the roof trim maybe, jungle wood to go with the mud. Then we'll also go with our classic red to yellow glass gradient, and lastly some moss. So I think the most important part to get right is going to be this weird in and out segment that I want to do. So we'll start off by doing like a rim of stone brick all the way along where this warped is, and then from here we'll have it go in a block and use some of these chipped wood blocks, and then on top of those we'll do some copycat steps, and then we'll put stripped wood in those, and then maybe on top of that just to finish off some copycat slabs with spruce log in them, and that kind of creates like that effect where it goes in and then out again. Though looking at this, we probably want to break it up with some kind of pillar, and then just to break it up even further we'll probably come in and replace a few of these blocks with stairs just so it kind of helps that shape a little more. And then even on the front we could do some surface moss like this and the odd glow lichen as well, just for a bit of texture. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then above this we'll come in with our mud wood gradient, and I'll make sure here that we leave some space to put some windows and stuff in. Then we'll just add some looms for decoration. And I wonder, can we put these in copycats? Oh yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then on top we'll do dark oak for the roof trim, and I want to give this a very slight overhang. A couple supports underneath just for decor. We then just fill in our windows, couple decorations on the front, and you can really see the vision starting to come together. I am so happy with how this is turning out. Although there is one little edit I want to make to this, and I want to rip out these stairs and replace them with framed ones. In those stairs I want to do some chipped blocks like this just to give it a bit more texture. And to be fair, while we're doing that, we could also do this with the canopy wood, and then we can have our strip logs in here for a bit more texture too. Moving on anyway, we're going to move up to the towers next, which are going to be made with a bit of a gradient, starting with some tuff and then just some smooth stone after that, a little bit of light grey concrete powder. Top of that concrete powder we're going to go for limestone, and then at the very tippy top peak of the roof we're just going to do a very slight bit of calcite. For our details and stuff we're going to be using some polished tuff, add in some windows, then we come back in with our frame stairs for the roof trim, fill that in with our blocks. Filling in the middle of this roof we're going to go with the red roof variant this time. And that is kind of the basis of what we're going to be building here. So I just need to get this repeated on both sides and all around, and then we can start adding some details. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and boot up stream over on the Twitch. If you don't already follow me over there, you definitely should. Link will be in the description. And we'll see how much of this we can get built. I should probably also actually fix the terrain here too. That's probably job number one.
One eternity later.
And it's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. We've still got quite a bit of work to go. I actually ran out of mangrove wood, so I wasn't able to finish this side of the roof, but we got all of the main structure built, and I believe everything in here has now completely filled up, which is great. But you know what it's time for. Comment of the day, question of the day, whatever, that thing. Yeah. Today's question comes from Anonymous Anims, asking, I guess, what is like my favorite contraption that I've built in the Create mod? It would be hard to place like what would be my favorite, but I did really enjoy making absolutely mega goofy mining contraptions when we were digging out a perimeter in our little private server I have with some friends. We just made these absolutely ginormous mining machines which stretch from the lava level all the way up to the bedrock of the nether. Each wall was like 2,000 drills, and if we added like one more block, they were disappearing into nothing. So it was quite literally at the very limit of how big a contraption can be in Create. They were really fun to make, and it was just so goofy watching the entire nether just be eaten alive by these machines. Sadly, I didn't actually record any of it, but I definitely have screenshots of the goofiness of them. So yeah, but I think that's probably where we're going to leave things for today, because I have a very busy work week coming up, and I want to get this video out before that starts. All of like the remaining little decorative work on this farm and everything else around the world, I'll probably get done over on a stream, so make sure to come and check out the Twitch if you want to see some extra content. Obviously, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.